Okay, we are back. We had a technical glitch. I am continuing and about to conclude the changes that we made yesterday. That there were only two changes that were requested that we're looking at now. The second one was on page 10 of draft number 3.1, and it concerns the joint fiscal office report on the cash fund, and it requests it added language that says compares financial management practices for expenditures made through cash and through bonded dollars, including long-term financial impacts. So the long-term financial impacts is particularly what I'm interested in. So I have no other amendments. Does anyone else have any requested amendments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I had a good question first.
Oh,
Can we just vote the whole bill out all by itself, everything? Just can't we just
I think
vote?
we did that.
No, we haven't yet. We haven't voted. We took a straw poll. We haven't
Oh,
voted
yes,
the
yes,
whole bill up. So can we just,
Absolutely.
can I have a motion to, no, she was asking for a motion for language. So can I make a motion with the chairs, okay, that would say that we vote the total bill out?
Yes, and let's clarify clearly that the change is the language,
The
Draft
change of the
3.1.
language, yeah, and then
and then reference the
spreadsheet
spreadsheet.
that we, went over yesterday.
Is that clear? And it's version 3 something.
Or I'm gonna just say it like this and then we'll see if we can modify it. I make a motion that we vote out the language of 3.1 and the last spreadsheet that we've gone over. And that, then that we all agree that that is what we're believing that we're voting on.
I'm good with that. Are we ready? Does anybody else have any comments? Are we ready to vote? Clerk ready?
Always very nice.
All right, so if you could please call the,
And call by
Call
Senator,
roll.
please, Sam, call Senator.
Yeah. I presume you were a second on this.
we actually don't do seconds. We don't have to do seconds, so I'm going to stop asking for seconds unless somebody wants to be a second.
Oh, okay. Senator Plunkett.
Yes.
Senator Ingles.
Yes.
Senator Major.
Yes.
Senator Douglas. Senator Harrison.
Yes. And thank you all for your work. Much appreciated. And I think it's a good bill. See what happens.
And reporter is.
It'll start with me and then it'll be all of us. So what we'll do, we did arrange some responsibilities and we'll confirm those tomorrow.
Okay.
Actually, you won't be here.
Just let me know.
Yeah. Very well, I mean, okay.
Another second, let me know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And it will be on the floor, Tuesday or Wednesday, probably. And that is a really good time. Okay, so thank you very much, Scott. It has been a pleasure and it will be a pleasure. Do you need to say anything?
Scott Moore, joint fiscal, giving over to Kevin Moore, IT.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You can never have more.
I think I
Too
probably.
many more. One more.
Need anything else, please hold.
More is,
No, I'm
more,
good.
more is less.
Senator,
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Scott.
you.
Yeah, so we just went ahead and did the capital bill, so we're not rushed with you. So please,
absolutely.
so you are the main event now. And
Hopefully I'm not.
do you know all of us?
I think I know most people, but you may not know me as well as you know my support staff. So I will certainly introduce them. Who would like hard copies?
It's on your website.
I'm good. I'm gonna.
And
on the website.
About 3 of us like hard
Okay.
copies.
You brought up extras just in
Thank
case.
you. And just to tee it up, so go,
Sure, absolutely.
this committee's jurisdiction now is IT, and there is all sorts of IT, right? And so we've been looking at, so far, we've been looking at consumer and outside IT, basically. But it's really important and as important to review and work with legislative and internal IT. So
You want just to give me that?
yeah,
It's on the floor.
I know.
Sorry.
No, take your time, please.
Okay.
I'm on your time, not the other way around.
Okay, but I can, you wanna take the rest of it
I'll
now?
come back in a few minutes.
Okay, I didn't say, you know, but I think it says, we yell at consent.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, we are live, but there are fans, so it'll be fine. They'll understand when we have a pause. So, and so the purpose of today is to just start a conversation with you about how you see the legislative IT and, potential upgrades happening. Because we would like to help in any way we can, to help our systems be as good as they can. And we thank you for your work. It's not easy.
So, for the record, Kevin Moore, Director of Legislative Information Technology. I oversee the Office of Legislative Information Technology. I came today prepared to do a bit of an overview, but I can try to answer as many questions as possible along the way. And if the committee has questions that are specific to my operation, I'm always happy to answer them, whether that's in a formal committee setting or one-on-one or whatever works the best for you all.
Great.
So I'll jump right into it. The Office of Legislative Information Technology has existed for a long time, but we didn't exist in statute until 2019. We were a sub-department of the Office of Legislative Counsel, CIL, prior to 2019, when NCSL, the National Conference of State Legislatures, came in and assisted the General Assembly in a bit of a structural reorganization. As part of that structural reorganization, it was a strong recommendation to remove legislative IT out of the Office of Legislative Counsel in order to serve all offices of the General Assembly equally and as an equal partner at the table when it comes to planning and strategy and things of that nature for the other offices. So you'll see here on the first page that we were created as 2 VSA Section 701, created as permanent agency to serve members and employees of the General Assembly with information technology resources and nonpartisan technology related services. We use a term in our offices called aggressively nonpartisan. We go out of our way to ensure that there isn't even a perception of partisanship. We want to make sure we're serving everybody equally at all times, regardless of party affiliation, regardless of intent of legislation. It doesn't matter. If you come here, we're going to help. We want to make sure we're being served.
That's great. And if you ever need help with that, let us know.
Sure will. Our mission at this point is largely internal focus. So we are a bit different than the other two branches of government when it comes to their IT operations. We don't serve Vermonters and constituents as directly as those other operations do. Our focus is the internal operations, primarily of the General Assembly, making sure that the staff offices and the elected officials of this organization have the resources and tools and support they need in order to do their jobs. Now, obviously, we have a huge footprint publicly when it comes to information resources and access to the legislative body and how things operate. But we're here primarily to support IT and AV infrastructure, which is obviously integral to the functioning of the institution. Our primary mission is for legislators, legislative staff, and committees by ensuring that we have access to reliable and effective technology solutions. Systems are integral to the legislative process, including legislative bill tracking system that is primarily used behind the scenes. Nobody sees it, but it is an incredibly powerful a set of tools that informs our public website in real time. So that information is rapidly available to everybody. Use the same information resources in committee, whether you're a legislator, a staff member, the public, lobbyist, doesn't matter. We all have access to the same tools. Legal research, fact communication, record maintenance. Try not to read slides. What's the passage?
Do you want questions as we go along?
As you go, by all means.
Okay, I have to pace myself because I have usually too many questions, but just one for now.
Okay.
On all those sites, do you track how many folks go to which pages?
So we do have in website analytics that we use. We don't track proactively for any reason.
Well, not so that you identify who went onto the site, but just to see which sites are the most popular.
Absolutely. We go through and we do pay attention to site resources as far as what site or what pages on sites or sites are most heavily trafficked, making sure that we're not getting errors or poor redirects or things of that nature. We have a dedicated web developer on our staff that looks at that, along with our systems administrator, our network security administrator, and myself as well. So we absolutely look at that and make sure that those resources are up and available at all times. Technology does hiccup from time to time, or planned maintenance gets in the way. But beyond that, it's a very reliable set of resources. Vision, modern, secure, accessible technology infrastructure that empowers legislators and staff while supporting the entire process. Accessibility is something that we have spent a good deal of time focusing on when it comes to not just web resources, not from an ADA perspective, but post-COVID, the technology you use in committee every single day is one of the most accessible technologies that we've been able to provide for constituents to access the legislature. Early on, in terms we use like transparency and things that's a people process side of things when it comes to transparency. So we don't use that on our side. It's more about accessibility. And we are now one of the most accessible state legislatures in the nation. Others have certainly caught up post-COVID when it comes to streaming. But we were pretty early adopters of streaming technology post-COVID. And it's worked out pretty well as far as constituents not having to travel to be here, and schedules adjust as they did today, plenty, and not having to struggle to find parking in Montpelier, so on and so forth. So accessible technology, making sure that this institution is successful to all Vermonters is one of the key cornerstones to our vision. Fostering a legislative environment where technology enhances efficiency, accessibility, public participation. We really want to make sure that we are that conduit to you all. We don't want technology to be a barrier to the work that you all do. If it's a barrier, or if there's a challenge that you all are facing, please let us know. We want to fix that as quickly and efficiently as possible. We don't want to wait until it's a complaint. We want to catch it sooner than that. We strive to provide legislative staff with tools allow them to make informed decisions, engage with constituents, contribute to the well-functioning process. Funding, next slide there. So our budget is developed in collaboration with Joint Fiscal Office. It is a standalone budget. It's not contained within the legislative budget. We do have our own business unit in debt IDs. Scott Moore, who just left, is one of our key points of contact now when we're developing that in collaboration with JFO. It then moves on, once it makes it through that process, to the Joint Legislative Management Committee. It's our direct oversight body. And they provide for the initial approval and insight into that budget and give us directions on whether we should include something or not. And then once it moves past that, it gets incorporated typically into the governor's recommend. But then we go through and as I should say, staff act gets incorporated into the governor's recommend, as do the other legislative budgets that are passed to that similar process. But then we go through the same process as any other budgets in state government. We sit in front of appropriations, we testify as necessary, and we defend that budget or adjust that budget based off the direction that we're provided. The funds that we have in our budget cover all personnel, all operating costs, all capital expense is all contained within that budget. So we're very strategic about what we include from a year-to-year basis. We're a relatively small budget in the grand schemes of state government. This year, our mounting pressures are health insurance, it's like anything else. I think we were the lowest growth budget year over year in the General Assembly this year by a small margin, but lowest growth nonetheless. I think we're at $2.4 million total operation at this point. That includes all software licensing, that includes all hardware, all infrastructure, everything, staff costs, you name it. Development, maintenance, infrastructure, cybersecurity, public facing resources.
How many employees?
9.
Well,
We'll see their faces in just a moment. Oversight. Legislative IT overseen by Joint Ledge Management, as I mentioned a moment ago. I did copy a piece of that statute into this presentation for your convenience. It's the Speaker of the House and the Pro Tem chair that committee. They alternate per biennial who's chairing that, and then they appoint several others from each respective body in order to provide that oversight. All budget requesting positions, branch-wide IT policies must be approved by JLMC before proceeding to the rest of the process. My position specifically is also advised by the Joint Information Technology Oversight Committee. That is the one that tends to focus on large IT projects and oversight of critical components for IT operations for the other 2 branches that serve Vermonters more directly than we do. But they certainly provide us advisory opinion if there is a concern about structural IT operations or collaboration between branches, so on and so forth. They're always there to bend our ear, give us advice, or to give advice directly to JLMC if we're not listening to them.
we may take on part of that role.
Okay.
So we haven't yet. What folks have talked about getting rid of the Joint Information Technology Oversight Committee. But I personally am in favor of keeping it for now, especially for when we're not in session.
And I think that's really when that committee takes a lot of its active role.
Yeah.
It's outside session. It does a lot of funding approval for major projects.
Right.
Agencies such as APS.
So us and the committee of the House will start doing that
Okay.
in session.
We will adjust depending on how things happen, certainly. We're here to serve the General Assembly.
Great.
7, next page here. So relatively diverse group of highly skilled IT professionals from all walks of background. We have folks that were used to work in the NSA, folks that work actively for the Army National Guard still. I'm a National Guard veteran myself, so I spent time in information operations for the Army as well. We have folks that have worked for nonprofits. We have folks that have worked in the consulting sphere. You name it. It's a pretty wide group of individuals. Patrick, I always pronounce the last name wrong. I always want to say Hardshey. Patrick, our new youth support specialist, comes from a educational background. Beautiful background for the role he has with us now.
They're all very
I'm glad to hear that. If that's ever not the case, please let me know. We pride ourselves in being one of the most approachable IT organizations you'll probably ever interface with. We want to help at any given point. We also included in that 9 is Tony Morris, our coffee room technician. He took over oversight of that operation before we were separated into a separate IT operation. Services provided. It's essentially a ground up operation. That's how I try to describe it. We do everything from design, maintenance, integrations. I should separate that: design, integration, maintenance, full on operation, redesign, replace, support, all of the above. We are here to provide dedicated solutions to this operation and make sure that we are meeting your needs. In that sense, that's what we're here for. We are a full service shop. If you have a question about something, we will do the best we can to provide that answer to you quickly. If we can't, we'll find the answer for you and work with outside partners if necessary. But we do everything from spec the individual computers that folks use to pull the wire to deal with networking, cybersecurity, application development, bug development, database administration, systems integration, et cetera, et cetera. We are a full service shop. We are here to serve. I like to recall, for those of you who might remember, Luke Martin used to be director and chief counsel a few years back. He had a phrase for us, called us the small but mighty IT team. And so we hang on to that one proudly. I can, just as an overview, happy to answer questions. Hopefully I didn't speak too quickly throughout this process. I have a tendency to do that. But I'm here to answer any of the questions you may have.
I wish my FCC attorney would speak that fast. He speaks very slow.
That was my slowed down.
Nobody's perfect.
I
Any
don't
questions?
have, this great overview. Your staff is tremendous. I'm a bit of a IT dullard and they hold my hand while I go through stuff. So I'm incredibly appreciative. I'm glad you've had a good experience.
Good.
I'm good.
Okay. Oh,
Can I just take a point of privilege for sure? We rarely get a chance to thank Kevin for all he does. I was here when the COVID came and it was kind of a miracle what he managed. And he's known throughout the country for what he did then. And every day I rely on IT and much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
it's wonderful.
It does work pretty seamless.
We are very proud of what we've been able to accomplish with our small team.
And you're really responsive. I mean, it was
Yes.
something where we wanted to watch something on, actually it was a funeral. And you just got it done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we, again, we don't operate on a standard service level agreement SLA model as many major IT
Yeah,
operators
no
do.
forms.
No forms. We are here to serve. And we pride ourselves on minute and moment responses to the requests. Obviously, there are sometimes requests we can't get to. We have to prioritize based off of the need of the institution at that point in time. But our goal is to be as responsive as humanly possible at any given moment. Again, if IT is a barrier to what you're doing here, that is a problem for not only the institution, but for Vermonters as a whole. So we take that very, very seriously.
And we appreciate it. Any other questions? Well, we'll have you back and talk more.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that is it for today. Tomorrow, I don't know if we're gonna have a forum. I need to leave it. Actually, we'll talk about the schedule offline. So that's all we have today, right? Anybody have anything else?